The NFL Week 8 morning games preview and picks edition on the NFL Gambling Podcast, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog has just added those pick'em scorchers where you can just win 100 times what you put in. That's right, turn 5 into 500 in one game. Plus, every Sunday they're giving away $100,000. Promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus up to $500. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, a sports betting research platform for parlays, props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. Plus, that filthy NBA's back, and so is the NBA Gambling Podcast. Get over there and celebrate the NBA Gambling Podcast by potentially winning a hoodie. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA dog for all details today.
I'm just about that action, boss.
You have to be kidding me. That is impossible.
I'm raising the ante. Anybody wants any deal?
Jordan Davis, dog. Jalen Hurts, dog. A.J. Brown, dog. How many people want to eat a W tonight?
And welcome, everybody, to the NFL Gambling Podcast, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's Week 8. Oh, here we go, baby. Week 8 in the National Football League. If you are wondering who's yelling at you about this Week 8 slate that's got 9 games, no bye weeks. How about that shit? I am Moneyline Mac, and joined each and every episode on the NFL Gambling Podcast for the morning slate, which has got 9 games, may I add. Once again, he is Mr. Old Fashioned Football, a.k.a. JMark Football. What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, 9 games. We were just talking about this before we jumped on. No bye weeks, apparently. No bye weeks. The NFL was like, yeah, fuck it. We don't need a bye week in week 8. Nobody needs a rest. But I'm more excited to hear about the guy below me, if you're watching here, and to hear why Tyson Bagent is better than Jordan Love.
And let's introduce that man below us. He is from the great state of Iowa. He's a Hawkeye, baby. He, if you listening to, what was it, the NFC North? How do I forget? You guys are NFC North rivals. JMark being a part of the Bears, and RD being a member of Go Pack Go Nation. RD, what's going on, brother? Welcome back to the NFL Gambling Podcast. We brought you back to get the mojo right at Lambeau.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me back. I've been dreading listening to JMark tell me how bad Jordan Love is for the foreseeable future. Maybe.
I haven't rubbed it in too much.
Yeah, that's true. That's because it's everything's fantasy football trades right now with you.
Well, that's true. And plus the Bears fans don't have much room to talk when it comes to quarterbacks. So
yeah,
very true. And still a game back of the Packers.
Right.
Well, hey, you know what? I mean, this is kind of a situation we're not used to, where we got the Bears at what, 2-5, so creeping back in it after the big win of the Tyson Bagent era. The Packers fall to 2-4 last week, but they got a big one against a division rival this weekend. RD, do you think your Pack can turn it around?
Bet the Vikings.
you're not supposed to give away your cards already.
That's the only one I'll do. I'm not even that worried about Jordan Love. It's a Joe Barry defense that's hurt. I mean, it's bad enough it's a Joe Barry defense. Then you have all the injuries they've dealt with this year, and if the offense isn't moving the ball, it's going to be real hard for Jair to hold the defense more accountable, especially when he's not on the field.
Indeed. Yeah. I mean, we'll talk about it. We'll get to those games. JMark, do you want to recap our audience on how we did last week? I think it was a week to remember in week 7 for us.
Especially for you going 6-0 in the 6 games.
Yes.
I had a respectable 4-2, so I'll take that. You're picking at your total for the season for the morning slate, if my computer would quit freezing, 68%.
Woo!
And I'm a little behind. I'm at 59%. So
I need to retire.
yeah, there you go.
Go out on top.
Yeah, you hit your lock. I missed the lock. We both hit our dogs. Yours being the big one for the Patriots, of course, and 3-0 on your teasers. And I put too much faith in those Colts. Couldn't even cover 3. Couldn't win the damn game. So I went 2-1 in my teas.
Wait, you hit the Colts?
Did I say I meant the Bills? Sorry.
Oh, the Bills. Okay, yeah. I was getting ready to say the Colts. Well, the Colts should have won the game outright. We could talk about that real quick. That was an absolute joke. That pass interference call when the fucking ball landed hit the popcorn guy in the first row. That's how uncatchable that was. JMark, how did our special guest last week do?
Yeah, I didn't even bother putting his down because it was so bad. I didn't want to embarrass him.
Shout out to Adam. We still love you. But yes. Go Pats, go! And I think he went opposite of us on the Lions too. He bought into that Lions hype, and we warned him. We said, I think you're buying him at the very very top of the market right now. Good spot for the Ravens. All right, well let's get into it. Like I said, we got 9 games. Looking forward to hearing what our D side of some of these games are because we got plenty of action.
Real quick before we do that.
Go ahead.
I just got to say, I think RD has taken the lead in the best beard against Moonoff and Lovey. I mean, look at that thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fresh out of the barber this morning, too.
That's at least worth 2.5 points on Sunday for the Pack. I think that's
I hope so. I hope so. They might need it.
There you go. JMark, why don't you lead us off? We got to... Hold on. My freaking Siri's yelling in my ear. All right, I'm back. What the hell's going on? All right, here we go. Does that ever happen to you with these AirPods where Siri will just start talking to you?
No.
I need to stop saying that word. Now my phone's lighting up. All right. I'm all over the place.
I don't believe in Apple products. Come on.
I'm good. No, now it's talking to me. Shut the hell up. All right, here we go. Let's lead it off. The LA Rams are going to that filthy Jerry World. Cowboys laying 6.5. Cowboys coming off the bye. They beat the other LA team Monday Night Football in a game that they absolutely had to have. They obviously got drilled by San Francisco. Then they bounced back against the Chargers. Rams on the other end probably should have won last week, but Mike Tomlin finds a way to fucking somehow win all these games that I don't know how he wins. Rams are coming into this matchup sitting 3-4, which is perfect in the NFC. Everybody's 3-4 in the NFC because it's not a very good conference after the first 3-4 teams. I'm going to take the fresher team off the bye. I'm actually going to lay the chalk here and take my hated division foe, hoping that I'm wrong, to be honest. But I just don't see how this LA Rams offensive line is going to hold up against a fresh Cowboys defensive line coming off the bye. Yeah, I'm a little worried about Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. I mean, that's a good matchup if Stafford could get him the ball, but that Steelers front really bothered Stafford in the second half. So I'll lay it with the Cowgirls. They're always, and I was reading some stats today. Dak is really, really good as a touchdown favorite at home. So in other words, they're front runners, which we've been saying, and they blow out the average to below average teams, which are the Rams at 3-4. So I'll lay it with Jerry's Cowgirls. How about you, JMark?
Yeah, this one was actually a tough one for me to pick. In fact, I still hadn't made a pick until about 10 seconds ago. These teams have split the last 4, so they don't play each other super often, obviously not in the same division, but they've split the last 4. I like this Rams team. I don't know how they lost that game last week. That was disappointing. We're a anti-Cowboys podcast here, so I hate the Cowboys. And You know what? Instead of going with my gut, which kind of says Cowboys, I'm going to go with the heart. I'm going with the Rams to cover the 6.5 and pull off an upset because Dallas sucks. Dak sucks. Honestly, I really just think the Rams are going to be able to slow this run. They're going to slow Tony Pollard and make Dak beat him. And I don't think Dak can do it. So what do you say, RD?
I say I'm laying with Mac on this. exactly like you said, Mac, the defense from the Steelers gave the Rams problems last week, which leads me to believe Micah Parsons can do the same exact thing. And one thing the Cowboys do better than the Steelers is run the ball. I know Pollard hasn't had the season some people had hoped, but if they're able to run the ball at all in this game, I mean, it's a touchdown. Take the boys.
Yeah, you gotta go with you gotta go with the emotional hedge. So always I've learned that this year. Just take the shit the teams that you fucking hate. So if you're wrong, you're happy that they lost. See? And then if they win, well, then you made money. So it's been a good system because I've bet against the Redskins about every week and it's been profitable. All right, real quick before we continue on, gotta get us paid because we're talking about Underdog Fantasy. They have a way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. Underdog has introduced Scorchers, going 5 for 5 and pick them and enjoy a nice spicy 100 times payout. And limited time, Underdog is extending the first deposit bonus up to $500. $100,000 Sundays continue on Underdog Fantasy. 10 lucky players can win $10,000 each. JMark, your special Thursday night football. Do the Bills, are you looking at a Bills bounce back for an underdog play? Maybe get some Josh Allen in there. I know the Bucks are struggling as well.
Oh yeah, I think the Bills are going to overwhelm them. But I also think, Josh Allen is Josh Allen. So I'm going higher than half a interception. And then just kind of trying to pick a receiver. I picked Dalton Kincaid. Dawson Knox is out. Kincaid had 8 targets last week. He caught 8 of them for 76 yards. So let's go higher than 4 receptions. Just 2 for you today.
There you go. Keeping it simple. Get over there and play JMark's Underdog Thursday night play that he gives out every single week on this Wednesday morning show. We go beyond. We go beyond just picking the morning slate. We sprinkle a little bit on the Thursday night. And, hey, we may even throw a Sunday night game in there just because the Bears are playing. So watch along, make your picks, and maybe a little bit of cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. And like I said, when you use that sign-up code, SGPN, promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit bonus up to $500. Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. All right, we got one more. We got the NBA Underdog contest. And like I said, if you guys are watching right now or watching the TV, it's every other freaking 10 minutes. One of these prima donna soft asses in the NBA is pulling themselves out of opening day for load management, which is why you got to subscribe to the NBA Gambling Podcast, because they got to handicap and get ahead of these lines before one of these soft asses pulls himself out for load management. So get over there, check out the NBA Gambling Podcast. They're on these load management reports. And you know what they're doing too? They're giving away an NBA Gambling Podcast hoodie. Head over to NBA or sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA dog to submit a screenshot of you playing NBA Underdog. Use the promo code SGPN, and one random winner can win an NBA Gambling Podcast hoodie. Go over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA dog. I wonder if James Harden's going to submit a screenshot and see if he can win a free hoodie. He's not playing it ever, so he might as well get in on the contest, James Harden. What are you saying, JMark?
Your hate on the NBA has become a new favorite segment.
Oh, dude, I love that it's in the ad read. I'm like, good. I can promote the NBA Gambling Podcast while shitting on that freaking National Load Management Association. I hate that league. And I'm a basketball guy too. I just hate that. I hate that product and league. But one product I don't hate is the National Football League, and that's why we're talking NFL. Oh yes, been waiting for this game. The Minnesota Vikings are coming off the win of the year. The San Francisco 49ers were unbeatable 2 weeks ago, and all of a sudden they've lost 2 in a row, and the Vikings got them on Monday night without Justin Jefferson. Somehow the Vikings are 2-0 without Jefferson. Packers are at a low a point as I can remember them in their franchise since before Brett Favre, or maybe one of those down Favre years, which is why I am all over those cheeseheads on Sunday. Kirk played the game of his career on Monday night. He threw an interception at the first half, somehow turned into a touchdown. Somehow the guy caught it, or the San Francisco defender caught it, and then Addison grabbed the ball from him and just took off to end the half. I don't even know why they weren't in prevent at the time. But everything went Kirk's way on Monday night. This is 2 straight wins. I mean, honestly, I thought the Bears were the better team against the Vikings a couple of weeks ago. So this is 2 games that they've kind of stolen to get back to 3-4. The Packers, backs against the wall. It's going to be 40 degrees at Lambeau. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here we go. This is when we back to Cheeseheads. This may be my lock. I don't know. I like some of these other games too. Love the Packers. Smash spot. They're going to get this done in front of the home crowd. I know you love hearing that JMark.
Can they end in a tie? Can we just have this game end in a tie? That's what I want.
That's happened before.
I cover. That's a cover. Plus one's a cover.
I'm gonna go on the other side. I can't support backing Jordan Love right now.
Taking the dome
Packers
team.
Defense, none of it. Yeah, I know that the Vikings have lost 2 in a row at Lambeau, and that's kind of how this has gone, right? The Packers win at home, the Vikings win at home in this matchup, but I just think that the Vikings are figuring it all out. They're doing well. I know that was a big game. A lot of people, I guess, didn't expect them to win against the Niners, but I think their defense is starting to improve enough. And they're as much as I have shit on Cam Akers, I think he's starting to get a little bit of spark when he's getting the ball. He's starting to look a little bit better. And I've said all year that I don't think Madison is the guy. So the more they get Akers involved, the better this offense is going to be, I think. So, give me the Vikings to cover the 1. Fuck the Packers. Sorry, RD.
You're not sorry.
But I think you're agreeing, right?
With everything other than the fuck the Packers part. Yeah, I'm with you on the Vikings. Conventional wisdom would say Kirk Cousins beats the Niners in prime time.
Yep.
You can't go with him 2 weeks in a row. However, the injuries continue to pile up for the Packers. And we saw what the Minnesota defense was able to do towards the end of the game against Brock Purdy when Brock Purdy was holding on to the ball too long. And what does Jordan Love seem to be able to do really, really well this year? Hold on to the ball too long. They don't score enough in the first half. Could the Packers win late? Maybe. But I'm going with the Vikings to cover. Or excuse me, laying the point.
Yep. If it's a tie, I win. So that matters here.
That covers.
So RD, the beautiful thing about doing this show at 3:00 Eastern, 2:00 Central for you guys on Wednesday is it's about the time where the injury report starts trickling out. So it sounds like Darnell Savage is going to be out a couple weeks from what I'm reading. Is there any chance Aaron Jones comes back on Sunday?
I think that they're going to, as they have the last few weeks, they're going to let him not practice all week and then roll him out there in some sort of fashion and then see what he does. As his past Sunday's game played on, he got more and more touches as the game went on. I know he got dinged up a little bit, but I think they're going to attempt for him to play.
Yeah, that's been frustrating fantasy football wise.
Yeah, that would help.
The worst. That whole backfield, including AJ Dillon, like the regression that he showed over the last 3 years, in my opinion, is crazy. Like,
yeah.
And then all of a sudden you bring in James Robinson, and he's looked, pretty good the last 2 weeks. AJ Dillon since they brought in James Robinson.
Yeah.
You just need a little fire lit.
Yeah, I was going to ask you because this kind of feels like an extension of last year's disappointment, but you just don't have number 12 in terms of like last year. I felt like, they had the young receivers, but they were going to run the ball with Dillon and Jones. I don't know. I just talked about him and I drew a blank on his name. And then they were going to play really, really good defense, but like the defense wasn't what it was supposed to be last year compared to the previous years. And it kind of feels like it's rolled over into this year. Is that, being a Packers diehard fan, is that an accurate analysis of it's kind of been an extension of last year where the defense and running game has got to complement Jordan Love just like it was supposed to Aaron Rodgers last year?
100%. The defense continues to, in my opinion, get worse, which, again, like you said, was supposed to be the strong point last year. And then a lot of the negativity last year around Rodgers was, he doesn't trust these receivers, so he's holding the ball too long. Well, either the receivers haven't gotten better, Jordan Love is worse, or maybe there's a coaching problem, of which if the season continues to go I think LaFleur will definitely get another year no matter what happens, unless they were to not win out. If he wants to keep his job, if they don't make the playoffs, Barry has to go as a defensive coordinator. And then you got to see what Jordan Love does the rest of the year. I mean, if he can improve on not holding the ball so long, but some of that's been offensive line. Some of that has been Aaron Jones not being able to block. But yeah, I'm about as down as I've been since 6-10 Rodgers rookie year.
Yeah.
His first starting year, or the 8-8 Ray Rhodes year with Brett Favre.
The more and more down you are, and the more and more you start talking about the job security, the more and more I'm getting confident in the Packers on Sunday. I love when everybody's calling for the coach. I go, this is the time where they pop up and shock the world for one game. So I'm still on the Packers. And Eric Stokes is going to be out too. So I'm reading the injury report as it's coming out. So yeah, what could go wrong, baby? They're banged up, but they're going to beat that soft-ass dome team from Minnesota. All right, JMark, what do we got next? Next up on the slate, we got – this game is beautiful. So this game, we got the Falcons coming off the win. I swear to God, Desmond Ridder was point-shaving last week. Anybody that fumbles 3 times inside the 10-yard line, including 2 on the 1-yard line, that needs to be investigated. Everybody's talking about Calvin Ridley. Might be Desmond Ridder that's point shaving. I digress. You can tell I had the Falcons. But shout out to Koo for the walk-off 55-yarder. So this is like the Spider-Man meme where you're pointing at one another, where you're confused who it is. You got Vrabel, Arthur Smith, his former offensive coordinator from the days in Tennessee. Sounds like the Titans are going to start Will Levis this weekend. They talked about maybe going with a little bit of quarterback, 2-quarterback system. He's treating it like it's college football out here, Vrabel is. They're coming off the bye. They lost the game in London. Falcons are coming off the big win. Ridder got his first ever road win last week. There's no way in hell we can lay these points with Arthur Smith and Desmond Ridder. System play, JMark. Give me the Titans. I don't care who's playing quarterback. They might put Vrabel out there to play quarterback. They'll find a way to win this game. This is our system play.
Yeah, no, I know why you want Ridder out. It's because you want Heineke in, right? I know why you're calling for that. But
that one jackass on Twitter, he's like, Heineke sucks. He said, this offensive line that everybody's crushing Sam Howell for is the same offensive line that Heineke had last year. He just found a way to not get sacked because he was running for his life the whole year. Go ahead.
Yeah. So despite the Arthur Smith, Mike Vrabel, all of that, I think a lot of this is the Titans at home. They've been a completely different team at home, it feels like. And I know it's Will Levis' first start and all that, but this is going to be a Derrick Henry game, I think. Derrick Henry's going to take over, and I'm going to agree with Nick in the chat here. Let's go Titans. I mean, sprinkle some on the money line and just fade the Falcons. They can't do 2 road spots in a row, right? Yeah. What do you think, RD?
I think Titans all day, and for one reason only. It's audition week. Like, if Will Levis or Malik Willis are your quarterback, it's audition week. So I think they're gonna unload the ball to Henry a ton. They're gonna throw towards Hopkins a ton, and they're gonna try to make him look as good as they can so they can send him out before Tuesday to the highest bidder. And I don't trust Desmond Ridder as far as he can throw a football or fumble a football
or carry without fumbling. Yeah.
Let's make a score prediction on this one, because we know it's going to be somewhere in the teens. Give me Titans win it 18-16. Some fucked up score. No, 16-15. 16-15.
That's I like 17-9. Like, I don't think they're going to have a problem. I mean, I take them outright.
Yep, I agree.
Let's do 12-10. I'm giving all field goals except 1 touchdown from the Falcons at the very end as they're trying to claw their way back.
What is the over-under in this game? Just out of curiosity. The over-under in this game is set at 36.5. No, 35.5. Is that what is this, Iowa? 35 and a half? I mean,
That's too high for Iowa. We're going 28 this
That's
week.
what I was gonna say.
it's
28 point spread on the bye this week.
I love it. All right, JMark, let's move along to, I can't wait to talk about this next one because we got my Patriots coming off the plus 330 on the money line against the Buffalo Bills. Dolphins coming off the Sunday night loss in Philadelphia against the Philadelphia Eagles. What did the Dolphins come out of the injury report? Yep. Hill and Mostert didn't participate in practice. I knew that they were both banged up coming out of that game. Feels like Tyreek Hill pulls a quad or a hamstring every game, and then he somehow comes back. On
If
the
I
other
was running
side,
that fast, I would too. So
yeah. I looking at the Patriots, shocker, they don't have anything on their injury report because Belichick's hiding it per usual. Oh, you know where I'm going for this one, man. Come on. I said second time around, Belichick kind of put the blueprint on how to contain this offense. Take Tyreek Hill out of the game with your safety over the top and bracket him on the other side and make the other guys beat you. And you kind of look at the good defenses in the NFL or good coach defenses, Belichick, the Bills, the Eagles, they've all been able to contain this Miami offense. Their stats are skewed by these shit teams that they played in Miami and Carolina, New York, and then Denver. Denver's obviously going to skew all their stats. Full disclosure, I sprinkled some on that 75-1 Patriots to win the East after that Bills game. Get this one, 3-5, 3-1 in the division. They got all the tiebreakers coming down the stretch. Give me the Pats, and you sprinkle some on the money line once again. Belichick, I trust, baby. Let's go.
I'm so torn on this game because the Dolphins are good, despite the fact that the Eagles embarrass them. They don't play good against good teams, but nothing from what I've seen this year, outside of a couple plays, says the Patriots is a good team. Like last week was such an emotional game. I feel like coming off that big win over the Bills, that I feel like this is when you fade him. This is when Mac comes out and looks like the complete opposite quarterback than he did last week. And I know you got to back him because he's Mac, your Moneyline Mac. I get it.
Oh, yeah.
But
Let's go.
I'm going to go with Tua and the Tuanons to bounce back here. I'm going to take the Dolphins. It's a lot of points, but I'm going to do it. They covered this twice in 2022. One was actually from 2 seasons ago, once last season, but I think Dolphins come out here and get it done. How about you, RD?
I agree with you wholeheartedly. The Patriots scare me. I mean, Mac Jones can look great in a quarter and then look abysmal for 3 quarters. I went back and looked at the scores from last year, and the Patriots played them close early in the year, and then double-digit victory for the Dolphins' second game in the year. If there's one thing we know about McDaniel, it's that is that he's gonna scheme up the offense the way that he needs to, and as he plays more and more against Belichick, I think the offense is going to get better against that defense. I like him. Cover the points. Dolphins, let's go.
Patriots got more injuries on defense than they did earlier this year when they played the Dolphins in a 7-point game. I think that comes into effect too. Like, I know a lot of people I've read today and yesterday that, well, the Patriots covered the 7, last time they played, but this is a different defense. They've got too many injuries.
I'm in the foxhole again with Belichick. I like it. Keep doubting my guy. He said the mastermind's going to find a way, make some more adjustments. Mac Jones going to get the ball out and figure some things out. So, all right, we're good. Some diversity on the show, some opposites. 75-1 to win the AFC East if you're crazy enough to get in on it. Let's go. All right, let's talk about Hall of Fame bets real quick before we continue with this slate. Because you can win bigger by betting in this NFL season with Hall of Fame bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer with historical data. Enter any parlay into Hall of Fame bets revolutionary parlay optimizer tool to get hit rates broken down by each leg. Sort all the hit rates by every bet so that they know the ones that have the best value. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame bets to craft a more intelligent, data-driven parlay. Download the Hall of Fame bets or visit HOFBets.com. Promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame bets. All righty, back on the NFL Gambling Podcast. Oh, yes, here we go. Speaking of beauties, we got the Texans are actually playing their asses off, to be honest, or they were on the other side of the bye. The Texans come into this matchup sitting at 3-3. Moonoff smelling himself, talking about how great they did in the draft. They're going to Carolina, who did not do well in the draft. They took the wrong quarterback, but that could be the narrative that kind of propels the Panthers this week. This is a pride game for Bryce Young. Frank Reich gave up play calling on the other side of the bye week. The Panthers have not covered one game this year. Teams that are basically 0-5 or worse at not covering a game are hitting at a high rate after week 6. I think the Panthers get their first win here. I think the Texans are smelling themselves. I got the Panthers winning this bad boy. Finally, so everybody has a win, and shout out to our producer, Matt Hogan. Your Panthers are going to get in the win column this weekend, buddy. Let's go. Keep pounding Panthers.
So normally when we disagree on this many games, we have a very mediocre week and finish around 500. But
Yeah.
I got to disagree with you here. Bryce Young is garbage. He shouldn't have been drafted first overall. I don't even know if he should have been the second quarterback drafted. But yeah, I think CJ Stroud's going to flex on this of, I should have been that number 1 quarterback. And that the Texans have, like you said, they've been playing their asses off. That defense is improved, and they got too many weapons on the offense there. I mean, I know when you look at it on paper, you don't think about it, and you're like Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Robert Woods. These guys are moving the ball. These guys are flying around the field. They're playing well, and yeah, I think the Texans rout them here. I'm going to take the Texans in the 3. How about you, RD?
I just want you to picture about 3:30 in the afternoon or 4:30, depending on what coast you're on. Frank Reich walking up to David Tepper, the owner of the Carolina Panthers, at the end of this game and going, "I fucking told you." There's been all the rumors that he wanted Stroud, didn't want Harper, didn't get his choice. I think the Texans, it was for the same reasons JMark does. Stroud's going to have that chip on his shoulder to come out and be the better of the 2 quarterbacks. And if there's one thing we've learned from watching any D'Amico Ryans coach team, whether it was the Texans as a head coach or as his time as a coordinator, like, I'll bet on that defense if you're making me do it. Like, you can't go against his defenses coming up in crunch time. And I think that'll get him the cover.
More disagreement. I like it. Let's go. Let's go, Panthers.
Too much agreement with me and this Bears fan.
Yeah,
right.
Come on, Panthers. You got to have some damn pride. You got to win a fucking football game. So let's go. All right, next up on the slate. Oh man, this game I struggle with. We go to the Meadowlands where the Spider-Man meme is back because you got the Jets, the New York Jets versus the New York Football Giants. So Battle of New York, Battle of the Meadowlands. Giants coming off the win. Shocker. They beat fucking Ron. Who saw that one coming? My God. Don't even, I just pissed myself off. Giants, I don't know who's going to play quarterback here. I think it sounds like it might be Daniel Jones. I kind of prefer Tyrod Taylor. But as long as Saquon Barkley's in, I kind of like him here. I kind of like another dog here. I'm not going to say a home dog because they're both at home. The Jets are coming off the emotional win over the Eagles heading in the bye week, feeling themselves, talking about playoffs. I think they're looking past the Giants. I think the Giants are going to go on a little bit of a mini run, as much as I hate to admit it. Give me the Giants and the points. It kind of goes with my theme. I can't lay points on the road or lay points with Zach Wilson. Can't lay it with Desmond Ridder. Can't lay it with the Texans. So I'm taking the dog again here. Give me the Giants.
Zach Wilson needs to play his ass off because everything I'm heering is Aaron Rodgers is coming back. He's in his 5-hour rehab a day. All this shit. Yeah, no, I agree with you that this game was hard to pick. and I hate backing Zach Wilson as a favorite, but I had to go with the elite. I looked at both offenses, both defenses. So you got 4 different teams you're looking at, and there's one elite squad there, and that's the Jets defense. So I had to back that elite part of one of the teams. I know their offense is kind of a shit show, but the Giants if Dan Jones is back, that makes me much more confident in this pick because Ty God Taylor has looked really good as the Giants quarterback, and maybe they should keep rolling with him. But I'm going to go with the Jets here. I think that defense is going to overwhelm them. I think they're going to know how to slow Barkley down and make Jones beat him with his arm, and I don't think Jones can do that. How about you, RD?
Again, trifecta for tough game to pick. I feel like every 15 seconds I could pick a point and really hammer it to go the other way. But I hate agreeing with JMark again. That defense, what are you going to get on offense from the Giants? Yeah, their defense is good, but since Robert Saleh has taken the leash off of Breece Hall, he's looked like Breece Hall from last year. He was on the snap count at the beginning of the year. Dalvin Cook did nothing. You take the leash off. He's run crazy the last few weeks, and I think the bye week came at a perfect time for them coming off that win, so that it's not that, okay, we're 5 days later coming off that win. They had enough time to celebrate it, enough time to get over it, get back to work. So Jets, Jets.
There you go. And JMark, I just want you to see this real quick. I screenshotted it. I was looking at the Jets injury report, and this isn't included. He's thrown on the field. He's thrown on the field for 5 minutes. That is on the injury report. Aaron Rodgers has made the injury report. He's coming back, baby. The man, the myth, the legend. I just saw him on.
It could be one of two things. It could be one of two things. Either he's going to come back and it's going to be Alex Smith bad when he gets out on the field and takes another hit, or it was never as bad as he said it was, and he just wants to look really good.
My theory,
the latter.
Yeah, RD, I don't think I've told you yet. My theory is never had a torn Achilles. It was all so that they didn't have to give up that first-round draft pick. But let's let him come back towards the end of the season and play the hero. The narrative's all over it. He makes the playoffs with them, and yeah, it's typical Rodgers drama fashion.
I am very anti all these people that talk about the NFL script. But if that happens, I might have to put on my tinfoil hat.
It's so Aaron Rodgers. He's coming back. And I heard he might be back on Christmas Eve for the Skins game, of course. So, yeah, go fuck all right, let's move along. Next up, I tell you what, this was another game I struggle with. So the Jags are as hot as anybody in the NFL, kind of like the Lions were last week. Coming off the road Thursday night win against the Saints. They've been a different team since they went to London. Cameron Kerr, shout out to our graphics designer, does a great job. And he's a diehard Steelers fan. Tomlin's won 4 out of 6 so far this year outright as a dog. And then one of the 2 losses, the one time they were favored, they lost. They got drilled by Houston. The last time he won back-to-back as a dog outright, he kind of laid an egg the third game. I kind of think the Steelers' magic runs out for 1 week here, and I'm going to back the better team. And last time the Steelers came back from out west was Vegas. They played Houston, and they got drilled, like I said. They're coming back from an emotional win in L.A. I know they had the bye week, but then they beat the Ravens on that fucked up game where they blocked the punt, and somehow the Ravens throw a pick in the end zone, and total Tomlin game. Nobody knows how they won the game, but they won the game. I'm going to fade Tomlin here. I'm going to take the better roster, the better quarterback by far in Trevor Lawrence here. And I'm actually going to lay the points with Trevor Lawrence because Trevor Lawrence is proven that you can lay points with him now this year. Dougie P and the Jaguars get it done in the Steel City. JMark, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, we're breaking a rule here by not betting Tomlin as a dog. It's one of our rules, but
can't do it every week.
I know. And if they keep winning, he should be in Coach of the Year conversation because the offense has been shit.
Yep.
Like, there's no way they should have won as many games as they have. There's no way they should have won last week against the Rams. Their offense has been shit. That defense has just been phenomenal. And Tomlin is a hell of a coach. I'm gonna take the Jaguars. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're back.
We can hear you now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're on the Jags.
Long story short, I'm on the Jags.
I'm right with you guys. The anemic Steelers offense, I think they were unable to run the ball last week against the Rams. I think Jacksonville's defense is as good as, if not better than. So you got to think that they're going to be able to slow it down. They're going to have to put it in Pickett's hands. Then you bring in the speed on the outside for the Jags coming after Pickett. That's how mistakes are made. The one thing defensively the Steelers did not do well last week was stop the run. They had the Rams passing team had 136 yards rushing. ETN's going to be able to, he may total that by himself. And kind of like the last game we picked, I'm going with the run game. Jags laying points.
I like it.
Love it. Love it. All right, next up. So we're all in agreement on the Jags. What could go wrong, right? This game's interesting because I feel like the Saints are better than their record, but they keep finding ways to lose games. They're a dog at Indy. I think they're the much better team. Indy got fucked last week. We already talked about that. Minshew's kind of been good every other game. He was really good last week outside of a couple turnovers. I mean, the fact that they almost had 500 yards against that Cleveland Browns defense, beyond impressive. But once again, in a game where both teams need this game bad, I'm going to take the better quarterback, I guess. I guess Derek Carr is the better quarterback of the two. But I definitely think they have the better defense. I think this defense is really good. They just gotta find a way to get on the same page. Dennis Allen, he can't coach worth a damn, but he can coach some defense. So I'll back the Saints defense like they did in New England and get it done when they absolutely need a road win. Give me the Saints here to get it done in Indy.
And if you're a fade the public type of person, the Colts have 54% of the money coming in on them. And I don't understand it. I know they put up a lot of points against the Browns, but like you said, Minshew has been up and down so far. And and the Saints coming off of a little mini bye as well. They played Thursday night against the Jags. I think that's going to help them out. They're the fresher team. The Colts have that disappointing loss that really was a big back and forth game, 38 points. Those guys are going to be still a little bit tired from that. So even though that they're at home, I like the Saints here as well. So I'm going to take the Saints, and I think they win outright.
Same.
RD? No.
Colts.
He's still bitter about week 3.
Slightly. No, I'm taking the Colts, and we came back to win that game.
Oh yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah, that was a good comeback. No, I'm taking the Colts. Who knows? Like, is Olave going to be there? He might have to speed to get to the stadium. I'm not sure. But that takes off, their best wide receiver. Derek Carr has looked like a shell of himself. And if we go back to the show I was on in the NFC North, I did make some comments about the Saints throughout that episode, thinking they could do something good this year. They have not. Yes, good defense. They're going to be able to slow them down, but they got shredded last. I keep coming back to the running game. They got shredded last week by ETN. You give me Zach Moss, Jonathan Taylor. Don't put too much in Minshew's hands unless he's throwing it over the top of everybody to downs. I have no faith in the Saints anymore, and I was huge on them to start the year.
Yeah, they were my Super Bowl pick, Saints Jags, and I agree with you. My faith is running out on them. Just quick throwing fantasy in here. You think Michael Pittman has a big game after saying that maybe he wasn't needed or isn't important? That whole squeaky wheel gets greased type of thing. Do you think he has a big game?
No. I mean, no. I shouldn't say no. Could it happen? Yes, but I don't think just because he's talking about it, if Downs continues to play well, they're going to be looking for a wide receiver to put next to him that's not Michael Pittman, because there's some talk they were going to trade for somebody to put next to Pittman. If Downs keeps playing the way he is with, Gardner Minshew as his quarterback, they're not going to have any need to keep feeding Pittman. He can get as mad as he wants to.
I like it. Don't feed the babies. I like it. I hate when these receivers cry about.
God, when they act like those NBA guys, you got to get them out of there.
That's right. Oh, we lost Mac.
I'm back.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
back.
100% agree.
Had to get
He's
something
like,
real
I don't want to talk about Pittman anymore. I'm out of here.
These fucking prima donnas. I'm with you guys. Will the Saints be better without Olave after the way Carr was acting the other night with Olave?
He just needs to run a damn route. Just run forward. Don't
but if he doesn't complete 13 passes to Michael Thomas will go right back to being the diva that he is.
Yeah.
So it's like, robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yep. Agreed.
All right, JMark, we saved the best for last, the final game of the slate. Here we go. The Philadelphia Eagles on top of the NFC once again after that great win Sunday night against the Miami Dolphins. Washington, shocker, loses in New York. Flowchart game that we were all over, JMark, unfortunately. This is the average person, I think, is good. This is going to be a public side. This is going to be a public road favorite, divisional road favorite. And I'm pulling up the injury report, and I see a certain quarterback at the top of the list that was limping at the end of the Sunday night game. His name is Jalen Hurts. Finished the game with his knee brace on. So the tush push is great. I love it, to be honest. But I think we've talked about this multiple times, JMark. He takes too many hits a game where I agree that you use the tush push when you absolutely need it, but I think Hurts is going to play just because that is Hurts. But would it shock me if they sat Jalen Hurts out for this game when they got upcoming? They got the Cowboys, they got the Niners, they got the Chiefs, they got the Bills, they got the Cowboys again, and then they got the Seahawks. This is not the game that they're thinking about right now. They're thinking about this 5-game stretch coming up. They just won the biggest game of their year. Meanwhile, on the other side, everybody's talking about firing Ron Rivera, even though Ron doesn't know his job's on the line. He's only minus 200 to be the first head coach fired. This is the perfect time to take the Skids, to shock the NFL world. This is the Jets all over again from 2 weeks ago, all over my Skids. It was the first bet I made this week. It did get to 7 at one point. It came right back to 6.5. Still taking it at 6.5. I think the Skids are going to win. I think they're going to shock the Eagles back-to-back. They play the Eagles tough. They just played 3 weeks ago in Philly and should have won the game if Ron went for 2, but he didn't know the score, I don't think. So he said we were too tired to go, but which makes no sense because the defense should be tired. But I digress. Skins are going to get it done against a banged-up Philly team once again in the NFCs. Let's go, JMark.
You're underrating Marcus Mariota if Hurts doesn't play. Come on.
Oh, I watched the quarterback
Oregon
this summer. He was terrible.
Now, normally, on Commanders games, I agree with you. Normally, I agree you fade Ron as a favorite. You back him as a dog. But I thought this line was going to be 7.5. The touchdown favorite here threw me. And this Eagles team is good.
It reeks.
Yeah. This Eagles team is good. I'm all over the Eagles here. I'll go with the public, and I'm going to take the Eagles to cover this. How about you, RD?
I'm following Mac the whole way.
Let's go.
I mean, the gift of officiating that the Eagles got this past week is insane. Yeah. It can't happen 2 weeks in a row. This is exactly like Mac said. This is the perfect time. The NFL's got to get the Chiefs back on top. They've already played them to a tight overtime game. They can keep this under 6.5 and maybe shock the world.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe shock the world.
They're talking about trading Chase Young, trading Montez Sweat. They're trading everybody. Ron's going to get fired. This is when Ron shocks the world once again. He don't even know what's going on. I'll be like, hey, good win, everybody.
It takes the heat off. Then they'll not fire him until the offseason.
It's like JMark said, you fade Ron as a favorite and back the shit out of him when he's a dog when nobody's giving him a shot. He's gonna pull some shit out of his ass this weekend. All right, let's go to our lock and dog. Who should we let go first here, JMark? Have I been going first or have you?
I think I have, but if you want to mix it up, I'm good with that. Either way.
For my lock. Oh, I know where I'm going for my lock. I'm going to go to the team that has not played a home game in almost a month. It's a division rivalry game in the NFC North. The Green Bay Packers smash spot against the Minnesota Vikings one more time, just like last year when the Vikings came in all pretty with a nice win streak, and then the Packers flattened them right out. It's going to happen once more at Lambeau. Give me the Pack go is my lock.
I'm going to lock up the Jaguars. I don't
I thought you were going to say Vikings. I was like,
No.
damn.
I thought about it. No, I'm going to lock the Jaguars. I don't like it because home dog Tomlin, but I just think they're the far better team in this matchup. The Steelers aren't going to keep getting lucky on defense like they have been. I know they're really good, but they've had some things just really go their way. So I'm locking the Jaguars. How about you, Artie?
I'm locking the Titans. They're a
I
dog.
liked it.
I think they're going to win outright. I think they're going to win by a touchdown outright. The audition to trade Derrick Henry. Lock it in.
I like that one too. I like that one. That when we do Moneyline round robin, that's definitely going to be in it because we all were smash spot agreement on that. Dog. Right fucking here, baby. Right fucking here. Take that Eagles shit and get it out of here. Let's go Skins. They're going to win this game on the money line. Ron Rivera, Riverboat Ron, survive in advance. One more week. Skins get it done against the Eagles back-to-back years and Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. Let's go.
I honestly thought you were going to go with the Patriots again. I'm kind of glad you didn't.
Bonus dog. Let's go. Because I know nobody's going to give that one out.
Yeah. So RD had the balls to take it with his lock. I'm going to just take it as my dog, but give me the Titans. I agree with you. They're going to win this outright. They're a better team than the Falcons are. I know the Falcons have had moments where they've looked good. Last week they got lucky. They won, even though Bijan, I still think he had a hangover. You know, he's like, well, my head felt funny and I just didn't feel like myself. You were hungover. And the coach said, sit your ass on the bench. I'm not going to play you much. But yeah, give me the Titans. RD,
I actually had the Titans written down as my dog, but I had to take him as a lock because Mac might have talked me off the Finns for my lock, but we'll save that for another conversation. I'm going to ride with Mac. Give me Washington.
Commanders.
Yes.
You know what? Fuck Jalen Hurts.
RD, I can guarantee one thing. We will be the only two that give this out. Nobody else is picking them.
100%.
What's the betting split? It's like 85-15 right now, right? Philly will be the most public side.
Oh, for sure.
Hold up.
And while JMark's looking that up, what's everybody going to say? Oh, I could tease the Eagles down to just win the game. That's all I need is the Eagles to win the game. That's the perfect line. That thing reeks that thing's on 7.5, like JMark said.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, everybody's going to look at it and say a touchdown wins it.
Yep.
Yeah. On the money line, 92% of the bets and 92% of the money on the Eagles, only 8% on the Commanders.
Yes.
And as far as the spread goes, 83%. You guys are making me nervous now. 83% betting the Eagles on the spread. Now I'm nervous. I don't like being that public.
To the Redskins. Let's fucking go. I love this game. You know, we're gonna shock them again, just like we did in Philly last year. Second game, for some reason they always bother the Eagles. I don't know what it is. A flowchart game, as Kramer will say. Kramer better give that out as his dog later, just to stick it right to Sean's face. That would be great. That would, because Sean will still pick the Eagles. His gut handicap, and he goes, "This is my system play. Always take the Eagles." I go, "Well, that's not really a system, but okay." All right, let's go some teas, and then we'll go to Moneyline round robin at the end. I'm going to tease all three dogs at home that are getting 3 points. Titans up to 9, Panthers up to 9, Giants up to 9. None of those three teams should be ever laying points on the road. I guess the Jets aren't on the road. But those games are all going to come down the wire for me. So I will tease them all up to 9. Simple.
I like it. I'm going to ride with you on the Titans there to +9. The Jags, I know you're never supposed to tease through 0, but I do it all the time and it works out. So give me the Jags +4.5. I hate when people on the X say, oh, you tease through 0. You're fucking right, I did, and I'm winning money doing it. And then the Saints +7.5. RD,
I like the Saints one too. That's a good one because the Colts aren't going to blow them out.
No.
All right, so I teased on mine. I looked at these. I think I teased most of these in the opposite direction to get real ballsy. So teased
I like it.
The 6 points in the opposite direction on the Titans, so you can get them at -4.5 at +184. I think they're going to win by a touchdown. Ooh. I think the Vikings are going to break my heart this weekend. Tease it to -7 at +218. And I think the Finns are going to smoke Bill Belichick this weekend.
Ooh,
tease it to -15.5 at +172. All plus money. Throw $1 at it, you're winning.
RD needs a wheelbarrow to carry those balls around. Jeez.
They're behind my beard.
I don't know which one's ballsier. That or 75-1 for the Pats to win the East. Let's go.
Love it.
All right, so dogs. What do we? So the Titans, we all agreed on. That's an obvious one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we may have to hedge a couple of ours. Another. I
yeah.
mean,
So RD, we're looking at dogs. It can be out of any of the games now.
Yeah,
we've been putting together a little money line round robin parlay.
Were you guys that confident in the Jets?
I am.
Okay, you're confident. So throw that one out. I was going to say
I'm not.
Yeah,
I could go either way on that game.
Yeah. Should we? I was going to say we should throw the Steelers in there as a hedge to your lock.
Hey,
I don't know.
What do you think? What do you think about this? What do you think? What do you think about Lamar Jackson, Mr. 4 touchdowns? Yes. Showed everybody how good they are.
Cardinals.
You got Kyler Murray's in practice, so Josh Dobbs is without question going to play unbelievably.
Yeah.
To cover 8
or win
outright.
Or win outright. Oh, I forgot Moneyline. Yes. I could totally see them pitching a stinker. They come out and it's just like Lamar Jackson can't throw the ball. You know, they score 17 points.
Yep, I like that.
Let me ask you this. JMark.
Yes, I do agree to the Bears.
I was not going to say the Bears. We could throw out a beyond crazy one here. Could the Raiders go into Detroit on Monday Night Football and shock the Lions? I saw it's 90+% of the money and bets are on the Lions. Jimmy G, I think, is supposed to be back. Could this be a total heartbreak for the Lions on national TV that everybody just thinks they're going to bounce back automatically? Yeah, you guys have seen the Lions collapse more than I have over all these years.
That's true.
But is Dan Campbell the guy?
He might be. The other
I didn't think he was, but he might be the guy.
Yeah,
true.
And so, can you see him doing that 2 weeks in a row? It's one thing to lose to the Ravens, but to get just manhandled.
Yeah.
Practice cannot be fun for them this week.
The other option, JMark, is could you hop on the Skins? With us?
I thought you were going to say the Broncos.
I actually think the Broncos can beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs are due for one. The Swifties, they can't win every game.
And it was close 2 weeks ago.
It was. And they're going to Germany. That was another thing I missed on the handicap of the Dolphins game. The Dolphins and Chiefs have a look ahead to Germany.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll go with the Commanders though, because because of that split. I was all over the Eagles. I hate that split though. 92-8 on the money line, 83-17 on the spread.
Over the good side.
That is disgusting.
So we go. Who are the Commanders? We're going Redskins. Who else we got?
Titans.
We said Titans, and then in the 4 o'clock shock the world game, you fade the team that everybody's crowning a Super Bowl champion. It's worked out every time this year. Cardinals plus 310. Oh, this is a 30-1, fellas. I'm pumping this puppy in. Yes,
I like it.
watch the Titans will lose by like 2 somehow. It'll be some bullshit.
No.
They'll cover the game, but they'll fucking lose the game because the Falcons will bullshit. Nah, Titans are getting that done.
RD,
right, so we got
week 3. We had Colts who won, Houston who won, and then New Orleans who blew that fucking lead to the Packers to ruin our 33-1.
I was at a kid's soccer game. I didn't watch any of the second half. I walked out of the bar. They were down 8. They were down 17-0. And all of a sudden, I look at the score after a kid's soccer game, and I was like, I text my buddy who was a Saints fan a little video of me cheer, and he was not happy.
Hey, RD, is that the last home game you've had?
Yes. No. Jesus, now my brain's fried. No.
The Lions game.
Yeah,
Thursday
they had
night
one
game.
in there, I think.
They've
Yeah,
only
we
played
did
2
just hit
games
our-
at home. They've only played 2 at home.
Yeah,
right?
it was correct. We started off 4 on the road. I got to pull it up.
I like my.
I play too much Madden. My brains can only think about my schedule on Madden.
I like it.
Lambeau Leap Time Sunday. All right, so we got to recap. We got 33-1 coming across the news right now. Deshaun Watson did not practice again. Shocker.
They ruled him out, or they ruled PJ Walker as the starter. I saw.
They're gonna win.
Stefanski said that. Yeah,
They're gonna win on Sunday. I bet you they.
XFL coming strong.
That's right.
They're better without. They're better without fucking Watson. Like,
Yeah, he sucks.
He gave the Colts a lead to start the game with that interception. He's 1 for 5 yards. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the Browns. We already gave out our money line round robin. I was gonna say we could throw the Browns in there against the Seahawks, but we already gave it out. 30-1 to recap. Titans, Redskins, Cardinals. Yes, the Cardinals and Skins are gonna upset the Eagles and Ravens. Welcome to the NFL Gambling Podcast. Let's fucking go. Hey, I'll tell you what, JMark teased it out. Sprinkle some on that Broncos money line, too, against the Chiefs. All those Swifties are due for a loss. So, RD, before we get out of here, tell everybody what you got going on in this great state of Iowa.
Just working over at the Flying Moose, but you can check me out on Twitter at Bet the Bar. I put out little videos that I think are funny. You might not, but hey, teach your own.
Fuck your
I like 'em.
feelings.
Facts don't care about feelings.
No doubt. JMark, what we got over at Old Fashioned Football? You and Miranda arguing over some waiver wire pickups headed into the second half of the year?
Oh, of course we are. We got into an argument over Josh Jacobs on Monday. So if you just need a little bit of entertainment, go to like the last 5 minutes of that episode, I think it was, and listen to us bitch. It was bad enough of a back and forth that my parents texted me and said, "Did she beat you after?" It's like, no, she didn't. She didn't beat me up this time. Yeah, come check us out on Thursdays. We do our start sits. Mondays it's waiver and whiskey. Got some guests coming up in the next couple of weeks here, so come check it out. And yeah, we just got done talking about Grace O'Malley, the Pirate Queen, the Irish Pirate Queen. So if you don't care anything about fantasy football, come for the whiskey.
No doubt. No doubt. I always love tuning in to on Monday and Thursday night. So get over there, check out the Old Fashioned Football. Give RD a follow as well, and go visit his bar in Iowa. It's a good spot. I'm going to be there one day whenever I get back to Iowa. I love Iowa. I love Ames. I love Iowa City. So Des Moines. All good places in the great state of Iowa. So find me at Moneyline_Mac over at the College Experience. We got a lot going on. College basketball, sport you can bet on every fucking day here starting in 12 days, and college football and the swing of things. So get over there, and hopefully we can hit this 30-1 parlay. Hail to the Redskins, and let it ride.